Well, the eThekwini Municipality is appealing to residents who have static or Jojo tanks connected to the municipal reticulation system to conserve water and also practice rainwater harvesting as a viable option for additional water storage. The negative impact of having too many static tanks is that water supply is not shared equally among residents. The city further assures the public that they are attending to persistent water outages that have affected some parts of northern areas, including Phoenix. For a discussion on this, we are joined by eThekwini Municipality Water and Sanitation Head, Mr. Ednick Msweli. Festive greetings to you, Mr. Msweli. Tell us how the connection of Jojo static tanks is hindering on the water supply in the city.
Thank you so much, and greetings to the viewers at home. The system that we are talking about is quite fragile in that the demand is high and the supply from our bulk supplier is quite low. Well, I wouldn't say low, but it's not where we'd like it to be. And this is since we had the shutdown by water about a month ago. So what we are dealing with here is a system where a situation where we are trying to recover from the shutdown. So we had anticipated that it would take us about 7 days to recover after the shutdown. But what we are noticing is that it's, as I've just indicated, it's almost for a month now and we haven't recovered. So we've been going through a process of elimination of possible causes of the delay in us recovering. We've fixed what we thought could be fixed. There's still more things to fix, like air valves, some that we still need to fix. But one of the things we've realized, especially in one of the areas, and we name these reservoirs, we give them numbers. So one of them is called Phoenix 2, and supplies a particular part of Phoenix. Our guys tell me that in that area we have quite a lot of these, we prefer to call them static tanks just so that we don't use a brand name. There's a lot of them, as much as 70% of the properties in that area probably have these static tanks. And what that does is it's like you're creating another reservoir in the system that we now have to feed. Instead of just filling our reservoir that we've put in as a municipality and then going straight to the houses, now you've got to feed an extra reservoir. Obviously, in this case, it's not one location. It's an extra reservoir that is all over the place. And this is why we are appealing to the residents that you need to just work with us. We need to eliminate that as a possibility. So we would like to be sure that the water is not being kept in these static tanks. I'm sure the community would understand as well. If I have a static tank, it's about 5,000 litres. It means I've got 5,000 litres on my yard that I'm not using sometimes. Because then the municipal water supply will continue to flow. You've got 5,000 litres sitting outside. You're not using that water. That's another 10 houses that could be having water, but now it's sitting in one house and not being used.
Yes, Mr. Msweli, you've said that if residents don't comply with this plea to rather than rain harvest the water, there will be serious ramifications. Tell us more about this, and how are residents even allowed to or able to connect their static tanks directly to the city's supply? Is this even allowed?
Certainly not by the city, because we haven't done any of those connections. So no one has come to us. They connect my static tank. But the context in which it happens is one that we too understand. It's because of the interruptions to the water supply that have taken about a month. So people are trying to make it better. But we are saying to the residents that what you are doing is making the situation worse. It's just going to take so longer now for us to actually recover that system, because all of us are racing towards it. We want to recover it to the extent that it can work as normal as it was before. So all of those tanks make it more complicated for us to get there.
All right. Now, in terms of the persistent water outages, which areas are affected and what plans are currently in place to attend to these outages?
Yeah, it's mostly the Phoenix areas that we are now worried about at the moment that are affected. Obviously, in Jojo as well, all the areas in the north effectively are affected. The supply has not been good even prior to this, because, as I said, it's a case of a supply and demand situation. The demand is high, supply is low. But after the shutdown, the situation got a bit worse.
All right.
And really, if we introduce these things that we're doing now, we're making the situation worse.
All right. And then there's also been reports of the quality of water, especially the water that is flowing into the oceans as well as rivers, not being up to standard. Babu Msweli, what update can you give us at this stage in regards to the water quality in the city?
Okay, the water quality, as far as the water that we drink, that quality is 110% quality. I'm using that to illustrate that there's no problem with that quality, the water that we drink. When you talk about beaches, at the moment, as of today, we only had about 2 beaches that were not open, swimming beaches that were not open, so out of about 23. So we've recovered in most of them. So yes, we've come from that. We've had issues with E. coli, but I think we've done a lot of work, and we do see improvement. And I think we caution, we want to err on the safe side by closing the beaches that we're not quite 100% happy with in terms of water quality. But people can come to Durban. Durban is open. I was there just earlier on today at the beach. Life is going on there. So where you don't see any signage or any signs that say don't swim, then certainly you can swim. And that is the case with most of the beaches. It's just the 2 at the moment that we are dealing with. But even there, we are starting to talk about a blockage that just needs to be dealt with. So it's not where we were when we started having the problem. We're narrowing down to a few issues that we just need to.
All right. And are you able to name those beaches that still remain closed, Baba Msweli?
In fact, the second one I can't name, but I know Warner Beach is one of them in the south. Yes.
All right. All right. And what current measures are in place to ensure that beachgoers as well as holiday makers which have flocked to Durban can, of course, go and enjoy the beach without worrying about issues like E. coli and any waterborne diseases?
As I indicated, in most beaches, you can do that without worrying. But for the 2, our parks staff are there. We've got a unit called PRC, Parks, Recreation and Culture. So that's part of their work. They have lifesavers there. Lifeguards, you'll be guided. You're not going to have a problem. So if no swimming is allowed, somebody will be there to stop you, even if you try and swim. So it's quite safe. You're not going to have a situation where you swim in a beach that you shouldn't be swimming in.
All right, Baba Msweli, thank you so much for that. That was eThekwini Municipality Water and Sanitation Head, Mr. Ednick Msweli.